Hey guys, Ty here, and I've done a couple laptop reviews in the past, but I've actually never done a review on an Asus laptop. So this is the Asus UX360CA, and we're going to answer the question if this is the best budget Ultrabook. Let's start this review by quickly going over the specs. So this has an Intel M3 6Y30 mobile processor, 13.3-inch 1080p display, 8 gigs of RAM, 256GB SSD. It's only 13.7mm thin and weighing under 3 pounds. Regular price is $750, but you can actually get this for $499 on the Microsoft Store right now. I have the link down in the description, and I don't know how long this will last, so I recommend guys hopping on this deal as soon as possible. Also, since it is from the Microsoft Store, you get the Signature Edition, which means that there isn't any bloatware on the laptop, and you get a pure Windows experience, which is great to see. For $499, this is a very solid laptop. First off, this laptop is incredibly thin and light. Like I said earlier, this is less than a half-inch thick, and it can barely fit full-size USB ports. Speaking of ports, this has 2 USB 3.0 ports, 1 USB Type-C port, an SD card reader, and a micro HDMI port. This is definitely a good mixture of ports, and that USB Type-C port means that you'll be covered for the future as well. Definitely a nice inclusion. Also, Asus includes a nice carrying case for the laptop, which is dope to see. As far as the build quality goes, it's pretty good for the most part. There's a tiny bit of flex on the display and the keyboard, but other than that, this is solidly built. Now, what's unique about this Ultrabook is that this has a 360-degree hinge, so you can flip the laptop to a stand, tent, or even a tablet mode. I personally don't use these modes too often, but it is nice to see. So the display on this is a 13.3-inch 1080p display, and it's pretty good for the most part. It has excellent viewing angles, and although it is glossy, the laptop does an excellent job on being non-reflective. The only thing about this display is that it's not that color accurate with only 72% color gamut, so for professional work requiring color accuracy, this is not the laptop. But I don't think this laptop was intended for that anyways with that mobile processor. So for the average user who does schoolwork and watch videos, this display should fit the bill. Now the keyboard on this laptop is very solid, and I love the layout. I have no complaints whatsoever on the layout, which is really rare. Laptops usually get either the shift key or the arrow keys off, and well, this laptop is totally fine. And as far as the typing experience goes, it has a good amount of key travel and a solid tactile feedback. If I were to complain a little, I do wish it was a little more tactile, but other than that, the keyboard is near perfect. And the mousepad is very solid as well. My finger glides smoothly, and the tracking is pretty accurate as well. Skipping around was very minimal, and I think the trackpad is decently sized. The only thing I didn't like is that when scrolling through pages, it wasn't scrolling fast enough, but you can easily change that in the settings. Now, before I talk about the performance and the battery life, let's quickly go over the speakers on this laptop. So this does have Bang & Olufsen speaker, and they're pretty good. There are 2 speaker grills on the bottom, and they do offer very crisp sound and gets decently loud. The only thing is that the bass is almost non-existent since it is an Ultrabook. Now, since this only has a mobile processor, don't expect to be chopping out 4K videos and running any heavy programs and games on it. The mobile processor is totally fine for more basic stuff like doing schoolwork, surfing the internet, and watching YouTube videos, which is intended for most of the people buying this laptop. With 8 gigs of RAM and a 256GB SSD, everything feels snappy. One big advantage of having mobile processor is that you don't need any cooling fans or a big cooling system, so that's how they got this laptop this thin. And since it doesn't have any cooling fans, it's practically dead silent, so which is fantastic, and it also doesn't heat up or anything like that, so cooling is no problem, even though there's no cooling fans to keep the mobile processor cool. Battery life on this was generally good as well. I consistently got around 8 to 9 hours of battery life with watching videos and browsing the web. It is advertised to get up to 12 hours, but I never achieved that benchmark. Either way, you should be able to get a day's use out of this pretty comfortably. In conclusion, this is a very solid laptop with not many drawbacks for $499. It has snappy performance, good battery life, excellent touchpad and keyboard, and it's super thin and built pretty well. Well, that's basically, guys, that was the review of the Asus UX360CA, and in my opinion, this is definitely one of the best budget Ultrabooks out there, especially for $499. So yeah, if you like this review, make sure to thumbs up and subscribe for more similar content like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.